Little. You think Pels fans should be optimistic about the team going forward?
Man, actually,
you must know that first. Can't nothing and nobody fade what we trying to do and what we about to do. Second thing is, we got this game on our level. You understand what I'm saying?
Damn, that feel good to hear, bro. That's about the first time in like forever I didn't been able to, you know what I'm saying? Man,
Justin deleted my videos, man.
yeah, can't relate though. Can't relate. It's been so long. I feel like since I've even used this show, I don't even know what banner I have. I don't know what banner I'm supposed to use. I'm gonna go with him. I'm gonna go with Scott Vicknair. I'm gonna assume that if you're hurt,
Damn. Huh. Yeah.
you got it.
Yeah. Huh? 504,
There you go.
500, 11. Dub.
Scott Vicknair, injury attorneys. They fight for the win. I'll be honest, I don't know what other sponsors that our wonderful show has here, but whatever they are, we gonna get them all back because beautiful shows like this. Appreciate all y'all for pulling up to pretty much anything that the brand puts together. Could be doing anything else, but you here with us now.
That's a fact.
So, Lito.
Whoa.
Everybody say, well, not everybody, but there's a portion of the people that say we too negative. Right? We too negative.
Yeah.
And that's not the reason we doing this show. But regardless, because we don't care at this point. But the reason we're doing this show, regardless, is to tell you why or give you reasons for optimism going forward. Pelicans are third, fourth worst team in the NBA right now. They just traded a dude that's been the second leading all-time franchise scorer, Brandon Ingram. I think it right. He was 2. I'm lying. He ain't 2.
He ain't 2.
He ain't 2.
He
what?
5th, I think.
Yeah. He 5th. I think. Man, what list did I see where he was second all time on the franchise? I gotta go back and look. But yeah, I fucked it up. See, I'm giving that's how bad it is, man. I can't even tell you stats, like all-time stats for this brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the shape this franchise is in right now. But Brandon out of here. After 6 years, after being a part of the team's last playoff win, and on top of that, still don't know Zion's future. I'm not talking about regards to being in New Orleans, but him just being able to be healthy and what that looks like. Now you have the real emergence of Trey Murphy. CJ McCollum he's going into the last year of his contract next year. Impending rookie to be drafted. You ultimately got a lot of questions. Willie Green, David Griffin, and a lot of losing basketball, dog. So I get it. It is hard to be optimistic. You want to see good basketball, but good basketball at this point does franchise no good because you don't want them winning games. You just don't. You don't. You need like a mini reset. This team end up with the 7th pick. That's horrible. That's horrible, Lito.
It's bad.
So we're gonna start you off. Huh?
I was about to say, I think I could find value at 7. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh,
I've been doing the knowledge. So
okay. Right.
Well,
look, man. End of the day, optimistic show. So the first thing that I'll start off with, and then I guess Alito can give a reason that he thinks people should be optimistic going forward. Of course, the easiest thing I think is Trey Murphy.
Sure.
And we're gonna do multiple solo shows just about Trey Murphy, like we already had. We've ran the topic into the ground. We're gonna keep running it into the ground. That's how well. But that's how well Trey Murphy's playing right now, man. I mean, he's setting career highs all across the board, pretty much almost nightly. When you think it's just shooting, when you think it's scoring, 40 points here, 40 points there, comes out and almost has a triple-double. What do you finish with? 9 assists, with 10 assists? The last, and I think the game before last, there was a Denver game where he had like 8 or 9 assists, and then you got the game against Sacramento. So he's evolving game by game between his playmaking ability, his ability to create. A lot of things that people question. They said he couldn't dribble, right? Well, he's showing you what he can. He's being a feature, an important part of an offense, not as just a shooter, as a complete player. Some of the defensive things are getting better. Like, he's becoming well-rounded as an NBA player. He's a dude that more than likely going to finish averaging 20 points a game. And we might be looking at a dude that's going to be a future all-star for this franchise. What does that mean? Hey, but it's something to be optimistic about, because since this is the first year of seeing Trey kind of unlock like this, you got to wonder, is it a higher, because I didn't know if he would get here. I thought he could. I want to see if he could, right, Lito? But could he get better? Something to be optimistic about. He's playing really good basketball, and he fits regardless of whether Zion is available or not available. He's been in really good shape. He's been playing really good basketball as well, looking like his normal dominant self when everything is going right mentally and physically. He fits perfectly with that guy. Zion and Trey go hand in hand together, and whether or not they are 1 and 2 or that's 1 and 3 in regards to how you build your team for points of emphasis offensively, they're very complementary to each other. And Trey has shown he's more than a role player, which is gonna fit well to Zion. Now you got to figure out the edges. So that's one less thing for you to worry about going forward, even when you talk about who you drafted.
Yeah. Hey, before we get into my thoughts about this, you think the Pelicans will retire Jackson Hayes' jersey?
You got a better chance of them retiring my jersey.
I'm asking. Jackson Hayes on the all-time list 3 times.
What that is?
True shooting percentage, he's first. Field goal percentage, he's first. 2-point field goal percentage, he's first.
What about, you forgot one? What about like bad screens list? What about that list?
He's also first on effective field goal percentage. Pelicans been in hell a long
first on Instagram highlights too.
Time. Hey, let me ask you this. Who you think is number one, the number one rated player in defensive rating? Just all time Pelicans on. Who you just
number one in defensive rating?
You're never gonna guess this. You're never gonna guess it.
How many years they played?
Ooh,
for the Hornets / Pelicans.
Let's say
couple years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Couple years.
Yeah.
Al
Farouk Aminu.
Nope.
Ooh. It's somebody I'm not supposed to guess. So it's not Tyson Chandler. It's not David West.
He played 2 years.
He legit played 2 years? Is it Boogie?
Nope. You never go guess it. Don't worry about it.
Bro. Nah, what you mean? James Posey?
Nope.
Son. Speedy Claxton?
Nope.
Jamal Mashburn?
Nope.
Jamal McGlory?
He's second.
Okay.
Jamal Mashburn 8th.
So Jamal McGlory second?
Yes.
It's not Hilton Armstrong. Julian Wright?
Nope.
Okay, I quit. Who is it?
Robert Trailer.
Rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, man.
It wasn't no way. It wasn't no way.
I told you, you was never gonna guess that, bro.
No way. No,
you was never gonna guess that.
No way, man. So, Lito, give me a reason going forward. I mentioned Trey Murphy and being a building block.
Yeah.
Right. As one reason to be optimistic going forward, or even the rest of the season. What you got? Give me something you think works.
To me, the number one reason is Trey Murphy. Also, just I'm just being honest. Like that's what it is. The thing is like somebody was arguing me on Twitter. Well, they wasn't really arguing me. They were sneak dissing. They said, "Man, dude on the podcast, you know what I'm saying? He was like, he didn't even know Trey Murphy was going to become he was going to develop into this." And I thought about calling him a stupid motherfucker, but I didn't. But in my mind, I'm like, there's no way you looked at Trey Murphy playing basketball at Virginia, and you thought or you could foresee he would become this. I understand how evolution and growth and development works.
GDs?
It shout out to the stars. I think that that's not what I saw for Trey Murphy. I saw a spot up shooter. I saw a guy who could stretch the floor, and that was it. And if you tell me you saw something different, I need to see your eyes. I need to see it through, because I just don't believe it. You
talk about coming out of college?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, we've been talking about this. We was you, me, and Mike Cyprian, who we gonna have on the show when we do the actual Trey pod. It's just not many 6'10" dudes that are sharp shooters and that are that athletic.
No,
it's just they don't. It's not many that exist. So he pretty much filling in the blank, and it's like each year he added something. Then this, he added this, and like that's the issue. I don't know if I ever thought that the ability to create was there with multiple dribbles. I didn't know if it would happen like this year. Injuries of course were a blessing in disguise for him, but I think it was what year, when the year Zion originally tore his hamstring.
Mm-hmm.
The second half of that year, post Josh Richardson, Trey was playing like the second best Pelican. And that was still with CJ and with Brandon being back. And that wasn't supposed to happen. And he was doing, so I saw it. They needed to put the money behind it. They needed to put the time, the minutes, the energy behind it, like as an organization. And they didn't.
They still haven't.
They waited. I would hope they're about to now. So I don't know if I saw that. That's a different conversation, but I see what you're saying though. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the thing is like what you just said. We're gonna talk about this more with Mike. But the thing is like he came into the league with a defined skill. He could shoot the basketball, right?
Yep.
I didn't know he didn't have like these crazy dunks like that at Virginia. And he didn't have the type of dribble where he didn't have the type of handle where he could put the ball on the ground. He could create for himself at that time. Now you got a guy who crossing over into he's he crossing over into another lane of traffic. He's not staying in his lane no more. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He's swerving into other lanes. He's moving into hybrid territory.
Okay. You cooking.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's going from just a straight up spot up shooter to he evolved into a dunker. And now he's a dude who is creating for himself and others off the dribble. That's 3 different lanes he done swerved into. Like the thing, and now you seeing playmaking. I'm starting to see rebounding. I don't know if I could put a ceiling on him. Like I don't know what the ceiling is, and I'm worried. And when I say I'm worried, I'm not worried in a pessimistic type of way. I'm worried that I don't think the Pelicans are giving him enough responsibility. Like I think that he should. Dog, if we being honest, like we talking, like we potting.
Yeah,
get that man the keys to the kingdom.
Oh, you wild. But hey,
I'm not wild because
we ain't that far away from it though.
Dog, the person who you've been trying to give it to, that motherfucker don't want it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, but I'm saying like that's the type of desperation I'm at right now.
And first of all, that's one of the like if I clip that up and send that to anybody, like you go get some weird DMs. But look, I ain't there just yet.
I respect.
I want to bask in what he's put on film and on paper this year, and slowly but I also feel you because he's and this is where like because optimism turns into delusion real fast, and I don't want to be super delusional because I already feel like like I talk with Five about this. 5, I don't think he's better than Michael Porter Jr. I think he's better than Michael Porter Jr. today.
I do.
Right. So then I started, we were talking about
to
Jalen
start
Johnson,
the season,
right?
I didn't.
Right. So we totally made this a Trey Murphy show. We would talk about, I promise you, we got about 12 minutes and then we move forward. We talk about Jalen. I asked a question about Jalen Johnson. I think Jalen Johnson better, but is he? So like I'm thinking he better than Scotty Barnes. No. Like I mean I'm no. Right. But here's the thing: he's broken all comparisons for him, because the original comparisons were Rashard Lewis. Again, talked about it with Mike. We're gonna have to revisit it, right? It was Rashard Lewis. It was Klay Thompson. That was it. We was thinking of taller shooters that weren't bigs, that had like wing flexibility type stuff. He's gonna be 3 or 4, could do, but that thing, a swingman, that kind of a tweener between the two, and that's kind of what he is again. We went from like saying like, is he a pick and pop? He gonna be more of a small ball 5 or 4, where offensively now he's back into a wing. He's playing like a small forward offensively. He's went back. So now, bro,
I disagree.
Okay, all right, no, cool. But I'm saying when we talking like creation, when we talking, when we talking the way he's passing the basketball,
sure,
that's not Klay and that's not Rashard, right? But it's also not power forward. It's his athleticism. It ain't regular power forwardish. So it's not like we talk about he ain't Amari Stoudemire, he ain't Kenya Martin, he ain't that, and he ain't your prototypical shooter from a size perspective to Yves. Like it's weird. There's nobody to compare him to, but you can't. He not a superstar. You don't think he gonna be? He think he gonna be a superstar more than likely. You don't think he gonna be a superstar though, huh?
I don't think he gonna be a superstar, no.
Right. So, dog, like, I don't know. And optimism again. That's the cool part now, because he's playing so well, and the film he's put in the way he's doing it, to where now you have to rework. Like Trey may have created an entire new, like you said, right? He's swerving lanes. Well, he's building construction on a highway for another lane, for like a 4th lane that may fit him in only a few different individuals, because how many 6'10" dudes can do, or you can even hope are able to do what he does with that amount of athleticism? It's not many, though.
Chris, he collecting 2K badges.
Yeah.
He collecting 2K badges. I was disagreeing with your point about the small forward, because he not a small forward either. He's a point forward at this point. That's what he is.
Which is crazy to say.
That's what I'm saying. So that's my point. When you see him in college, when you see him at Rice, dog, how he looked at Rice is not how he looked at Virginia.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you see him from his rookie year in the NBA to now, it's a totally different, bro. Like, I'm not like speaking in hyperbole. Like, this dude, his handle is the thing. You were talking about Rashad, we talk about Michael Porter Jr., we talked about whoever else, right? His ability, and Michael Porter Jr. has had injuries. So like that's one of the reasons why he is not who he is supposed to be.
That's right? The other that will be the other comparison, but even he wasn't as athletic as Trey, even at his best.
Yeah.
Mike isn't the athlete, or was the athlete that Trey is right now.
His willingness, he has this willingness that I'm seeing, not only to get to the line, but he has a skill in drawing fouls. He's attacking defensive angles. Like, he's attacking principles. Anyways, we not, because we got a show about Trey.
Again, this is not a Trey Murphy show. But optimism, right? Part of the reason that this show has lasted 19 minutes and 15 or 14 of them has been about Trey Murphy is because that's optimism. He brings optimism because his ceiling is getting weirder and weirder to think about. And this ain't the fan in me talking. This just the analyst. Because dog, I love telling somebody that the comparisons are wrong. But I also love making comparisons. Like I live watching sports off of comparisons. This person remind me of such and such. I like this player. It helps me try to think and I guess grade their game and project their game going forward. And when I can't compare you to anybody, it's kind of weird, right? Because you already got a dude on a team that you can't compare to anybody when he right on the floor. There's not another Zion.
Boy.
You already got one of them. So like, and this ain't saying that like Trey's generational necessarily to where he gonna be averaging 25, 5 and 5 or anything like that. He gonna be a first team All NBA player, but he might be.
Chris, I don't think that's
Yeah,
a reach.
See, I don't like throwing out the term generational.
No, not the term generational. The numbers. I don't think those numbers are a reach.
Okay, we see. That's what I'm saying. Because at worst, he's transformative. You know what I'm saying? Just because if he was 6'8", it would be a lot easier to have to discuss it. I could say, okay, I done seen Jaylen Brown do some of this stuff. I could see Jason Tatum. I done seen I could give you many a wings, right? He's 6'10", out 6'11". Like that changes the game, dog. And he's shooting 30 feet.
And he dunking on 7-footers.
And he dunking on 7. Bro, those players do not exist. And his path now, getting from that 30 feet to the rim, it's totally changed. It's no longer straight. Like, it's no longer a straight line. He'll dance. He'll take his time. He'll slow down. He'll go this lane, that lane, Euro, left hand finish, scoop layups, floaters, runners. It's not a superstar.
No, but
it's a, you talking about an all-star that you are going to have a hard time comparing other players to. And like when you think of their game styles and what they do well and their attributes. And that's the weird thing about Trey, because you don't see that with, like, you typically have those comparisons or those issues with the greats, with the LeBrons, the KDs, right? Like guys like that. That second or third tier, you can always find a comparison to them. I ain't got one for Trey. And that's fucking with me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's what happens when you break yourself out of the matrix. That's what happens when you reject societal roles. I'm not who the fuck y'all drafted me to be. I don't even know who I am, but I'm gonna just keep working on my game. But let me just say this. Talking about optimism. Yep. I told you I'm not fully bought in, but I'm seeing things from one that if he, I just pray he continues down a path that he's on. This is not a shot at whoever's not in the building no more.
Yeah.
But the thing with him and Brandon is it just didn't work. Whether it be injury, whether it be play style, whether it be coaching, it didn't work.
Whatever it is, it didn't work.
It didn't work. Both of you guys can't be so fucking laid back to where nobody saying anything. Somebody got to be vocal. You've been seeing things from Trey without the last couple months where he's been vocal either to Missi, he's been vocal to referees, he's been vocal to teammates. He'll talk to the crowd. You know what I'm saying? He's a showman. And I think that is probably a yin and a yang that Zion needs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's who he is when comfortable.
Yes. Exactly. Because Zion a little bit of an asshole. He just don't have it gotta be like you said, he has to be comfortable in order for these sort of things. Come on, I mean, if you in practice, if you go to a game, he talking, right? But it's not so demonstrative most of the time. And their games, even though the record doesn't necessarily show that, their games mesh really well together. You might see Zion throw Trey more lobs than Trey might throw Zion at this point. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of crazy to think about when you think about, you know, who Zion Williamson is. So I if dude is fully bought in, bro, if he like really like got that bullshit behind him, and he, you know, I think him seeing Trey ascend is another reason why too, because he's like, well, damn, like I saw him when he was drafted, I saw him what he was, and I'm seeing what he is now. But also another reason, man, like Missi, man, like I said this the other night, dog. He gotta get stronger. This is I want to preface a lot of what we saying is like we speaking in future terms. Like it's not necessarily present day situation. Yeah. So bro, if he could stay healthy, Missi got Robert Williams written all over him.
Okay.
Like I see it. The timing of his, bro, it was during summer league. He couldn't stay off his feet. He jumped at everything. He was in foul trouble a lot of the times, and he's still gonna be in foul trouble because he's a young player, even just young in basketball. But the things that I'm seeing from him, the way he moved, the motherfucker moved like a predator. He moved like the predator, dog. He moved like he's on the hunt. He's on the hunt defensively.
He do though, bro. Like that's kind of funny, bro. That's actually kind of he be creeping, dog.
DVB, bro. Like he really like you know,
like moving,
you know how
moving in shadow.
You know how the predator go camouflage?
Yeah,
that's bro.
He times. I mean, five said this a while ago. He like his timing. He time steps very, very well. He times so like I'm with you though, bro. Because I mean, again, I'm a historical dude when we talk basketball. So comparisons, right? When we broke down his rookie film, we said best case. We were throwing out names like Clint Capella. Somebody said Samuel Dallenberg. JaVale McGee. Throughout I'm trying to think. I think I said Clint Capella already. DeAndre Jordan. Like, and I don't expect anything from young centers that don't have veteran point guards.
Yep.
I don't expect not the first year.
Yep.
Like it took Tyson Chandler 3-4 years, and it took him to find Chris Paul to really find his footing and grounding, and he had to figure out what it meant to be a last line of defense. He had to learn eventually, right? Tyson went from being a shot blocker to a rim protector, a paint protector. Missi, I think, can make that same jump, right? He can make that same advancement, but a lot of that is mental reps. A lot of that is the people that's in front of you, defensive schemes, and just him slowly, like having the game slow down for him on that side of the floor as well. But you see flashes of it early, which is good to see. But again, none of them dudes, bro, DeAndre Jordan, Clint Capella, there's not many bigs, like rim running bigs, pick and roll bigs, lob catching bigs, that you should expect much from early on. Derek Lively is he don't count because he had Luka. Without Luka, it would look totally different. But you add a James Harden and Clint Capella, well, now it advances what who he eventually is. You add a Chris Paul to a DeAndre Jordan. I said Tyson Chandler. Like, it just changes it for those type of guys. So I was hoping that DeJounte Murray was going to be that guy for Yves Missi. We maybe had saw that happen in some stretches early on. It didn't happen. But I'm with you on the optimism for him because he's been playing a bunch of minutes, but he has not been having to play outside of the things that are going to make him play 10 plus years in the NBA. They ain't asking him to create. They ain't asking him to do nothing out of bounds of, they ain't telling him to shoot three. We saw he shot a little floater last game, I think, against Sacramento. Decent footwork. His hands could be better, and defensively, he got some things. He might have gained some weight, and defensively, it's gonna take some time. But I'm optimistic that while he's had some struggles, that's supposed to happen. Point guard and center, bro, they they two are the toughest position. Yeah, bro. Especially like, you know, year one being the guy and not having nobody behind you to teach you nothing. And Missi, who outside, I mean, Greg Monroe, but who's on that bench? Maybe Kelly Olynk now, but you know, who is what Tice before? Like, who was his mentor? Who can say, like, if they get a chance, Clint Capella is gonna be a free agent. I believe after this season.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why he would want to come to New Orleans, but if you can make it happen, you go find him. You go find him and you make it happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. I mean, I know that, you know, he's kind of came back to earth a little bit in regards to like, will he be rookie of the year and that kind of thing. Like, you know, the path he was at one particular point, he was posting double doubles almost every other night and so on and so forth. But I'm still really, really optimistic about him. I just got to see how it continues to progress, because he needs spacing just like any other big in that situation.
I want to add one more point about Missi. Who move on to the next player.
Yep.
All those things you name, DeAndre, whoever, Dallenberg, Clint Capella.
Yep.
His face-up game, Missi, is miles ahead as a rookie as to where those guys are when they came into their prime. Yes. His face-up game, his ability to create for himself off the dribble when plays break down is not something that I expected to be a plus for him. He does not look lost when he has the basketball. I hate to call him a predator again, but he goes into attack mode. Like he hit a damn, was it Jokic? I forgot who it was, but I forgot who they was playing against. But he hit a reverse, like he hit a drop step pivot reverse with the left. You seen him take Jokic, right? You seen him take floaters off the wrong leg on either his strong hand or his non-dominant hand, and his touch around the rim has been surprisingly good. That's crazy, but it's really no other way to describe that. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. It's all good, Joe Budden. Look, man, I think I'm with you, man. I mean, I don't and you know, I'm curious with some of these other centers that he plays thing. I feel like they may also know that there is something there, right? There is something developing, and in 2 or 3 years, you're gonna have a really productive center in this league on your team. I thought that, I mean, shit, the fact that these reps ain't kill him says enough, because that was my worry. My worry was that you were gonna fracture the development by having him out there too soon and him just not being ready mentally or physically. And he's soared past that worry. So, I mean, it's gonna, and now with taking it back to Zion, what you mentioned, another reason for optimism. For the first time in his career going forward, he could look around, whether he look at Trey or he look at himself in the mirror and say, this is ours or this is mine. Whether CJ comes back or not, this isn't CJ's team anymore, right? He doesn't have to be the leader. Whether CJ re-ups going forward, CJ is an accessory. He's an add-on. You know what I mean? He's an ancillary piece. Zion can finally say, this is mine. He can look at Trey and say, this is ours. He can look at even DeJounte now. And now DeJounte, unfortunately, with the injury, DeJounte's in question mark land for a little bit in regards to his role and how things are going to look with his return. We have to see how that plays out.
Right.
Zion can look either at the man next to him, who is who I've been told for years, for a period of time, was one of the only true friends he had on that team. I don't know if that's right or not. But athlete Pelican play, y'all see this? Y'all got to call me cap, call me a liar. I'm just telling you what I was told. If it's cap, it's cap. But he can look at Trey, or he can look at himself and say, yo, everything else is out the way. It's literally mine. And that's either a great thing for an artist or it's a bad thing going forward. But we at least can point towards a new path in an actual direction with what I guess it should look like for a number one talent, right? Or a number one option. So now welcoming in another really good talent in the next draft. Yeah, they'll hear from CJ McCollum. They'll talk to Trey.
Mm-hmm.
But the man that they got to go talk to at some point, they got to deal with and figure out how they go work around is Zion.
Yep.
Right? Free agents that that are coming in New Orleans. They ain't saying I'm coming. Oh yeah, I'm coming to play with this. I'm all right. I'm playing with Zion. I'm playing with Zion and Trey. CJ gonna fit in wherever. DeJounte gonna figure it out. All these other, but I'm going to New Orleans to play with Zion. It's no longer Zion and Brandon and CJ. It ain't no more of that. It is a clear hierarchy going forward. That's a reason for optimism. Because even if you lost a more talented player, sometimes less is more. And now you have a better direction, a better path, which should make it easier for team building. You ain't got to build for Brandon and Zion no more. You're built like you have 100% an idea from a team building aspect, Lito, what it means not to build around Zion. Ain't no question marks what he needs.
Yep.
Kelly Olynk should have been a Pelican
years ago.
Like you should have been had a stretch five. Like that's the only option. That's the best stretch five. Dude that I don't think has ever had a season where he attempted at least more than 2 threes a game. Is like that's your first stretch five option, not Nicole Lamelli. That's your first proven stretch five option for Zion. Okay, that's a fit. That's a fit for him. That's a team building exercise for him. Now, what does the rest of that shit look like? I mean, but even if it fails and he gets hurt again, or the professionalism doesn't improve, or he gets traded down the line, you at least have a pass, and that's for what his franchise has been. That's optimism.
Unfortunately, Kelly is a free agent at the end of this year, but I think there's other people we want to talk about. I mean, we went a little bit over the time, but like I Antonio Reeves had a 34-point game this year. Interested to see how they develop Karlo. Karlo has some hybrid tendencies that the fans, they tend to want to see more of. I mean, he's athletic,
modern too.
Yeah, he's athletic. He can shoot the three. I've seen him make some pretty good passes. Also, he had a couple block shots the other night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's lost defensively for the most part. But I'm saying that's not really a diss because he's still a young basketball player who is getting this is his first year in the NBA for real. Like he's
his first real experience.
Yeah, so like I'm not mad at that. And even I'm gonna say this, and before we get out of here, like even I want to say this, but I'm saying this with a grain of salt. Like, take what I'm saying as a grain of salt, because again, if the coach is gonna be the coach, I don't feel good about it. I think Bruce Brown could be a highly productive player for a basketball team. Mm-hmm. Situationally, it depends on how the roster structure and who is coaching. Because Bruce Brown, we talk about hybrids. Fuck, Bruce Brown was playing power forward for a lot of time in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was their power forward with Kevin Durant on the floor.
Yeah.
So,
but that was the guy who fit really well around stars. He has his whole career, and this was a dude who couldn't shoot, who still really can't shoot.
Yeah,
to be honest,
yeah,
still really can't shoot. I mean, he got the best you got really. He followed his best on volume. His best year is 35% at 3 attempts, which he'll take. In all honesty, but he's fit. His stamp in this league is that anytime he's played around superstar talent, he's been a dude that's belonged on the floor.
Yep.
So whatever that means, if you can find a way to make that work and you want to make that work going forward, by all means. So yeah, Doug. I mean, I'm with you, because coaching, front office, future, ownership, staff, some of the players that are still on the team, some of the roster deficiencies that have been there, injury, whatever you want. There, we got a bunch of reasons to tell you that why the team in trouble. But
yeah.
I thought this was a good exercise to talk more about some, the other side of things. And It's genuine too, because I'm not telling you that this is going to turn this team into a 60-win team overnight, but I can at least look at them and say they could be the Atlanta Hawks in next year.
Bro, strangely, I told this to Justin last pod we did. Strangely, I feel optimistic. Now, again, the optimism is also dependent on who is coaching the basketball team. It's also dependent on who is making the decisions for the basketball team. But I will say, like, at least with Trey, Zion, maybe, DeJounte in full health, you got CJ, you got building blocks to go off. You never really had a structurally sound foundation because you trade a center every 2 years. You don't really revamp the route. You make, this is not a diss, but you make priorities to guys like Jose and Najee and guys who are going to be journeymen in the NBA.
Yep.
So, like, we fall in love with them. Front office and fans fall in love with them. And I understand because you appreciate the effort, but you got to understand, if you're in the NBA, to be competitive, the 10th through the whatever man on the roster needs to be turned over every year to get better players.
Mm-hmm.
And
we went through a whole show without talking about Herb Jones. It's crazy. I forgot that Herb Jones is on the roster, bro.
Wow, me too.
I forgot that Herb Jones, who also has a really good relationship with Trey Murphy and probably a really good relationship with Zion as well. So, I mean, like, there's a lot of room for optimism, I think, going forward. But as always, timely moves, thinking ahead moves across the board have to be made. And now, did you learn from your mistakes over this 6-year period for your next 6 years to be better than this? Did you learn? Or will you repeat the same mistakes?
You ain't learn.
Time will tell. You mentioned something about Karlo. It's almost like some guys should do a film breakdown show about him again.
Oh!
For myself, for Lito, for Boo Crew, man, appreciate all of y'all, man, for tapping in with the recaps, everything. It's been a weird year, but been an inconsistent year. But the one thing that's been consistent is that y'all been here and we've been trying to put out content in absolute hell. So we got a few shows coming out. I don't know if this one is gonna be out before the CJ McCollum show, but whichever one, support, like, subscribe, everything. Stunning.
I sit here and we zone out, you dig, and just appreciate how it came and thank God for the blessings.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let y'all.
Riding with Jen next.